everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge in 5. More best bets for the night in sports. And we just got done a few minutes ago on the Early Wedge, where me, Patrick, and Sia, the Early Wedge crew, broke down the entire tournament for the Valero Texas Open. Brock in the chat said it was awesome. Another person says from the wedge to the edge. I like that too. Let's bring in the stars of the show. You know them. You love them. Today, it's just Frick and Frack and myself, Spector, EC. Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are we?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, Coach?
Awesome.
Coach, I'm not doing well.
Why?
My picks lately, the last couple days, have been really rough. I got hosed. Let me tell you, Devin Booker has 18 points in the first quarter. He has 24 PRA in the first quarter and gets like 38 for the game.
Crazy.
Or 36. I mean, he didn't do anything the rest of the game.
Either. It wasn't a blowout till the fourth quarter.
See, I had the blowout. McCollum had 17 through 3 quarters. Never played again. Right on track. All you needed 2 baskets in the fourth quarter with McCollum. I was like, we're good. Never played again.
I lost, so they brought in Trey Murphy III, who was my other play yesterday, Spector. They brought him back in the fourth in the blowout, and he gets out after he gets 1 basket short of what I needed. One more. I mean,
well, you all, including myself, contributed to the worst recap screen we've had in months this morning on the morning show. But guess what? Unlike every other brand in the world, we're here every single day. We don't run. We don't hide. Since December 7th of 2020, every day. Don't start with me. So let's get into it, boys. Spector, you know the drill, son.
Let's do it. Yep. So after yesterday's player prop, which we just talked about, CJ McCollum, I'm going to go to Malcolm Brogdon over 18 points, rebounds, and assists at -123. We said this. It was an absolute beatdown by New Orleans yesterday on the Portland Trailblazers. And I'm afraid that because both Kuzma and Bradley Beal are out tonight, the same thing might happen with the Celtics. That's why I'm turning to Brogdon, because he's averaged 27 minutes per game, but he still holds down the second unit if it is a blowout. He's also averaged 21.9 points, rebounds, and assists in his last 10 games. And this line feels a little low for a 21st ranked defensive rating Washington Wizards. If you would need anything else, in the previous 2 matchups against the Wizards, he averaged 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and went over this line both times. That's why I like Malcolm Brogdon tonight over 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
You know how smart this play is? Do you know how smart this play is? He's playing for the blowout. Because Malcolm Brogdon plays a lot anyway, but in a blowout, he's always in at the end of the game.
He's the guy who just holds down that whole second unit when they're like, hey, we don't want to lose this blowout loss and have our starters come back in. He's the guarantee right there. I learned from my mistakes. That's why we went with this one today.
Speculator. There's only one. All right, I'm going to go next because I want to lift you up, EC. Everybody always says I bring you down, that I'm always making fun of you. Not true at all. Not today. I've only got one play today. It's going to be Orlando and Memphis. Over 229. The last 3 games, the Magic have scored 119, 111, 122. So they're doing their part. Memphis suddenly has turned into an over team. 123, 151, 130, 112, 133. That's our last 5 games. This should be 233 or 234. I'll take it at 229 minus the 110. All right, EC. So I protected, unbeknownst to you, I protected one of your picks. I told the morning Early Edge crew, hey, can't touch North Texas. Can't do it, not going to do it. And they all respected it because you wanted the pick. So now the pressure is on. The entire Early Edge universe moved away for the NIT tonight. UAB, it's already been picked. But you have the other game. You're up.
Well, thanks, Coach. And I appreciate you protecting North Texas. I really, really like this play. So they're 1.5-point favorites over Wisconsin. Remember, I've tried to bet Wisconsin games. I'm up almost 30 units in college basketball on this show. But Wisconsin is the one team I just can't get. I've never, when I bet on them or overs or whatnot, I can't get them right. So we're fading them tonight. We're going with North Texas. And I'll tell you why. They're number 1 in points against by a wide margin in college basketball, giving up less than 56 points a game. In the net rankings, they were 38th. Wisconsin was 80th. They're 33rd in Ken Palm rankings. Wisconsin 62nd. North Texas over the last few months has been outstanding. They have allowed 55 or less in regulation in 7 of the last 8 games. UAB is the only one to score more. And, oh, by the way, they're in the next game against Utah Valley, which has already been picked. And I would lean UAB in that game, just throwing that out there. North Texas 11-3 in their last 14 against the spread. Wisconsin 4-8 against the spread in their last 12 as an underdog. I think North Texas wins this game by multiple possessions, and I feel confident in this pick tonight in the NIT. Let's go with it. Then we've got 2 NBA plays, and by the way, I did play Spector's separately. I read his description on SportsLine, obviously, before we just heard it here on the show. Loved it, so I'm all in on the Brogdon play. Good call, Spector. I like Fred VanVleet, over 11.5 rebounds and assists. We're throwing points out here. So he has 11 or more in 12 of his last 15, including 9 or more assists in 6 of his last 12, and 3 or more rebounds in 10 of his last 12. In 2023, so the last 35 games, he's averaging 7.8 assists and 4.4 rebounds, which is over 12, which puts this over. He's averaging a season-high 8.6 assists per game in March. And now he played the Heat twice in October, albeit it was early on. He had 12 and 13 PRA. So I think this one goes over. You're getting plus 105 on it as well, so you're getting a little extra juice. And then finally, I leaned towards the Pelicans last night, minus 11.5, and they won by, 34? So tonight they're getting 8.5 against the Warriors on the road. Now, listen, I understand it's the second of a back-to-back, but New Orleans is 5-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games, and they've won all by double digits, as we saw last night. They won big against Portland and rested their starters in the fourth quarter. Sorry, Spector, but they did, except for Trey Murphy, who came up 2 points short of his PRA. Golden State 2-5 in their last 7 against the spread, including losing outright to Minnesota on Sunday. And so these two teams are fighting for the 6, 7, and 8 spots, along with that Minnesota team. Golden State's a half game up in 7th place over New Orleans. I think the Pelicans actually have a big shot tonight to pull the upset. So I'm playing the 8.5, the plus 8.5. You're giving me great value there. Plus, don't look down on Brandon Ingram, 29 or more points in 5 of his last 6. I think he's going to lead them to at least a really close game, if not an upset win tonight.
Speculator, I need you to put your earmuffs on. You don't want to hear this. So I watched the entire Warriors game the other night, and I cannot tell you, EC, how much I love this pick. I think the Pelicans will win on the court tonight. The Warriors are playing as bad as they've played in years. Steph Curry playing as bad as he's played in years. Jordan Poole, he used to be a guy that I leaned into. He's a turnover machine. I don't even know how they let him out of the court anymore. I mean, it's brutal how bad and how loose they are with the ball. Love this play. Yeah, go ahead, EC.
The line coach is weird to me. New Orleans has been so good lately, and I just don't understand why they're getting that much. If it was me without my model, because clearly I don't have one, I would have put the line around 4, 4.5. Spector, what does yours say?
We have it at 6.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you why. The same thing happened in golf. Sorry, Spector, go ahead and complete your thought.
No. I watch all the Warriors games. They're 10 minutes walking. I live 3 blocks away from the stadium, and they're just not on the same page at the moment. It's because they don't have that defensive intensity that leads to the open floor, and they depend on it so much. You put them in the half court, they still spread out the floor really well, but they're dangerous when they're running on the floor that's when they're at their best. And yeah, I mean, I don't blame you on this one. Yeah, I think the only thing is you never know with Steph. He can go ballistic. Matt
says in the chat, Speculator is seething. This is him seething. This is him as mad as he ever gets. This is
This is about as mad as it goes.
I'll tell you why, EC. Brandon says, first time actually catching live. Normally listen on Spotify at work. Thank you for the free money. Brandon, you're welcome, and thanks for listening at work. We know there's a ton of people that are hiding behind their computer screens. This is work for us. We're one of the lucky ones, but you roll with us. Now, back to you, EC. The reason it's this way, because we looked at it in the golf odds this week as well. Sometimes the sports books just look at the numbers and don't look at how the teams are actually playing on the court. And that is where you kind of find some little holes to bet, like the Pelicans at plus 8.5. If the sports books actually watched, then it would never be 8.5. So sometimes it happens, and it should benefit us. Now, again, we had the Bulls last night. They lose by 30. So it's the NBA. It's bananas. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. By the way, I forgot to mention, but many of you realized it. My man AB in the chat answering all your questions about college baseball. Midweek games, he kills it. Kills it. Lean into that. All right, EC's on North Texas -1.5. Pelicans +8.5. Fred VanVleet over 11.5 rebounds plus assists +105. By the way, EC, not every book has that. Where'd you find this one at, please?
It's on DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, and MGM.
Thank you very much. Spector is on Malcolm Brogdon over 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Then I just have one play tonight if you want to cash with me. Magic Grizzlies over 229 as Memphis has really started to be an over team. Check out the early wedge. It's live on demand in your feed right now. And next week, we're going to have you covered top to bottom. It's Masters week. And we work for CBS. We are very, very lucky because we love the Masters. Only on CBS. I love that. I love that. I love that. All right. That's going to do it for now. Oh, but we are far from being done. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these in-5 tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, EC, Speculator, AB behind the scenes, and in the chat on the ones and the twos, multitasking. That's why he's our 5-tool player. I am simply the coach. I just try to drive the ship, drive the train, keep it on the tracks. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about at the early edge. And sometimes, yes, sometimes we do it in 5. Good luck.